This is Damon Tennant with the Get Your GED Now test preparation series, and I want to welcome you back to another school year. Out here in California where I am, it is August. Today is actually the 24th, and school is in session. In fact, some of the local adult schools that I work with in this area will be starting GED prep classes next week. And so one of the number one complaints I always get is people say you focus so much time on algebra, or other branches of math. Why don't you do any of the essay or the social studies or the science? So what I have on the screen right now here before you is an actual official GED practice test. And remember, when you're working with me, I love going to the direct source. I don't like fooling around too much. I like to get you working on the source, because when you go and take the actual test, these are the things that you're going to see. So let's take a look at this question here. And then at the end of this video, I want to tell you about a very special project of mine that I have coming up real soon. But first things first, let's get down to some business. Let's welcome you back in style. This is GED 2015, and here's a social studies question. So what I've done, I've taken an official GED practice test, and I'm just, here's an excerpt from it. So you can see right here, this is a GED Ready social studies, and here's me taking it. Now, let's go ahead and jump in and read. This excerpt is from the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on state laws in the 1954 case, Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka. The plaintiffs contend that segregated public schools are not equal and cannot be made equal, and that hence they are deprived of equal protection of the laws. Re-argument was largely devoted to the circumstances surrounding the adoption of the 14th Amendment in 1868. This discussion and our own investigation convince us that although these sources cast some light, it is not enough to resolve the problems which we are faced. In approaching the problem, we cannot turn the clock back to 1868 when the amendment was adopted, or even to 1896 when Plessy versus Ferguson was written. We must consider public education in light of its full development and its present place in American life throughout the nation. Only in this way can it be determined if segregation in public schools deprives these plaintiffs of the equal protection of the laws. So the question here is, what is the main idea of this excerpt? And so if you're spending any time with me in my program, you know what I'm going to tell you from the first get-go on this problem. And let me just go ahead and use my pencil feature here, that there are 5 types of questions. The first question is just plain old comprehension. I'm just going to abbreviate that. Then you have application, and I'm going to also abbreviate application. Then you have evaluation. I'm just going to abbreviate evaluation. I'm just doing this for the sake of time. If you're interested in learning more about this, you can visit my website, mygedlive.com, and get the program, and it will go more in depth than what I'm explaining to you here. So we have comprehension, application, evaluation, then we have analysis. I'm going to just abbreviate that. And then we have synthesis. That's the 5th one. So whenever you are on the GED test and they ask you a question about what's the main idea, then you know that you are dealing with, get a different color here for emphasis, you are dealing with evaluation in that, because you're reading this text here and you're actually taking these different points and you're actually evaluating, you're finding out what's true, what's false, what's the main idea, what are the evidences that support the main idea. So these are the 5 reading skills, and this is how I teach you how to break this test down. For those of you who are struggling with social studies or even science or even the RLA, the reasoning through language arts, for those of you who are struggling in this area, this is how I show you in my program. how to break these parts down. So we know that we're dealing with evaluation, and we know evaluation is about what's the main idea, what's true, what's opinion, what's false, what's accurate, what evidences are backing things up. And so then the second thing we're going to do, so what is the main idea of this excerpt? Now here are our selections. The court examined the current federal legislation to guide its legal rulings. Well, actually that's not, because in the evaluation of this and reading what it's saying, it actually says we cannot turn the clock back to 1868 and 1896. So we cannot go back to the old legal rulings. And then it doesn't talk about any current legal ruling. So right there, we know that that's one that we can go ahead and eliminate. And so let me go ahead and get my pencil back here. And we're going to eliminate this because there were no current legal rulings. There were just these old rulings that they talked about here. The court relied upon past legal rulings. Well, I just eliminated that with what I just said, that they said we cannot go back to 1868 and we cannot go back to 1896. Now, the court investigated the current state of education. So let's go back and look at the text. So here we have the court saying we must consider public education in light of its full development and present place in American life throughout the nation. So it says we must look at the current educational situation. And that is what this is saying, the current state of education. So we know in this case, and to show a right answer, I would like to choose green. Let me get rid of that. And we're filling that dot green because this is what the main idea of this statement is, that we can't look back at the past. There is no current legislation. And actually, this is going to be current legislation made with this landmark case, if you know anything about U.S. history. But again, we must consider, so in our evaluation, that when this affirmative statement is being made, we must consider public education in the light of its fullest development at its present place in American life throughout the nation. That is the main idea of this excerpt. We can go back and look at D and see where D says the court reflected on the original intent to decide a case related to education. Well, it's not looking at the original intent, and that goes back to not looking at the past rulings, but we have to look at the present. So that's evaluation. Identifying the main idea. What's the main thrust? And we know the main thrust by look at this strong language here. We must consider. So if it says we cannot turn the clock back, right? We can't turn the clock back. They were talking about the 14th Amendment. We can't turn the clock back there. So the main idea of this excerpt is that the court investigated the current state of education to reach its decision. How did it reach its decision? With the current state of affairs. Again, this is Damon Tennant with the Get Your GED Now Test Preparation Series. Now, that is just an example of how we would show you in the program how to work through this. Now, I want to show you something that I'm very, very excited about. Just give me 1 second here as I switch my screen. Ta-da! Here it is. I want to show you my all new course delivery system that I've developed with my own program here. So I have a great partner. There's a company called CourseCraft that allows you to put all of your lessons online so that you can use this with your smartphone. You can use this on your PC. You can use it on a Mac. You can use it on a tablet. You can use it on an iPad, iPhone, Galaxy, whatever you got. If you have an internet connection, you can use this course, and it is fully operational. And so all the courses that I've always taught and that you now have to download, which is fine because people do it every day. They get the product daily and they buy it and they download it. But now this is going to be an incredibly easier way to work through my course, much more organized. So now you're going to come to my course and you're going to get this welcome page here, and you're going to get welcome and watch this lesson first. and you're going to get the welcome and course introduction. Then you're going to get the core math lessons. Again, I do spend the majority of my time on math. Why? Because it's the subject that ties everyone up. All these lessons here are going to go through and take you through math, and then you're going to get to the core reading and writing lessons. And reading and writing, I cover the test there. So this is going to be officially released sometime in mid-September, potentially even early October. I'm going to be running some special promotions to folks who are already using my system first before I open it up to the public. But again, I am very excited about it. One of the things that I am going to be offering, and just give me a second here while I switch my screen. This is going to be a way where anybody who's just a tad bit serious about taking and passing the GED test can test out this system. And so they're going to be able to get for $1, and I just charge $1 just because, you know, when people have to put a little bit of money on the line, you know, I'm not going to get rich off of that, but if people put a little bit of money on the line, they're more likely to use it. I find time and time again, when you give folks stuff for free, it just really doesn't get used. And I know some people will use it, but the majority of people just don't use it. And so I'm charging $1 just to give you an opportunity just to test the system out. And I'm going to do it on one of my lessons. And so you would pay your $1, and then you would click on this course. And then you come into this course. It's just very clean. Lesson 10, basic shape measurement. It talks about this little quick course description here. This course covers basic shape measurement, as you will see them on the GED test. Remember, I'm focused on getting you to pass the GED test, not to simply just give you a good math class. Remember, I am focused on you getting that 150 number you need to pass. Okay, then it goes into the objectives, what you are going to learn in this course and what I want you to be able to do. Objective 1, 2, and 3. It talks about how I begin. Every lesson I begin with the end in mind. And the end is an actual GED question. Just like I showed you in the beginning of this video with social studies, there's an actual GED official practice test question. So it gets you ready for the kinds of things you see. And in my course objectives section, I make that very clear, and I give you an official GED practice test question so you can see from the onset, right? And you can be doing this on your phone. You can be doing this on your PC. You can be doing this on your Mac, whatever you have. There's nothing to download. When you buy this, you're going to get a login and a password, and you can use it, and you can take this course at your leisure. But again, this is the $1 section that just gives you an ability to jump in. And then so it shows you this question, and then it shows you me working that question out, and it gives you some text to kind of walk you through what I'm doing there. And then it takes you down to the course introduction and how to work with this course. And then you can come down here and you can click on this button to download the subject notes. And then you can click on this button to go ahead and watch the video lesson. Okay, and then you can click on this button to take the practice test. So it's very clean, very easy. You print this out by clicking here. You watch this video by clicking here. And then when you're done, you click here to take the practice test, and you can take this practice test on a Mac, PC. Again, this works on all platforms. And then there are even additional resources. So I provide more resources than just that. So I give you some test questions that will give you additional resources to help you develop yourself as you're going. And then the power of this is that at the end there is a comment section. So you can, if you have a question, you can just simply type in here, Damon, I am stuck on question 5 in the practice test. Please help. Okay, and you can post your comment, and there's your comment posted. Okay, and so this is how this works. And so when you have a question, you post it. This of course flies right to my email, so I know when my students are on, and I know when they're having some issues, and we come back here and we post a comment and help you out with those questions. I am so excited about this platform. I am so excited to be able to offer my materials in this way, because now you're going to get that opportunity to have it just clearly organized by lesson. It's just follow straight down the page. You get your lesson objectives up here up top. Then you come down here and you get your actual question to get you in the right frame of mind, so you know what you're focusing on, so you don't waste any time just studying stuff that's not going to be on the test. And you come in here into the lesson and you go for it. And what I'm showing you right here, this is the sample lesson that you could get just for $1. You can get the lesson for $1, and you can see if you like it. If it's for you, then when the full package is finally released to the general public, then you can get the full package. If you're somebody who's watching this video right now and you've purchased something from me before, you're going to be part of the early folks who are going to get a chance to get in on this thing. And I tell you, there will be a discount for that as well. Just to say thank you for being someone who supported me and has believed in me, as you prepared to take the test. So anyway, I am very excited about this. This is going to be a great thing. It's going to advance what thousands of people who I'm working with right now. Is going to just take it to a next level and really help people overcome and pass this test. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of thousands of people passing the GED test. This tool is going to allow me to be a part of thousands more success. So if you're serious about the test, again, this is just for people who are serious. You know, this is a step beyond watching a YouTube video. Watching YouTube videos are great, and I'll continue to post YouTube video. This video right here is a YouTube video. They're great, but this is for people who are serious. This is for people who are serious. If you're serious about passing the GED test, this is for you. Again, this has been Damon Tennant with the Get Your GED Now Test Preparation Series. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be sharing more exciting information about my new online GED course that anybody can use anytime, anywhere. You don't even need a computer. You can just do this right on your smartphone. Again, thank you very much, and I look forward to joining you in passing this GED test.